Hey everyone, my name is Stephanie. Welcome back to my channel, all about my life after gastric bypass surgery. And this is my 5-month update. This is my first video where I am doing monthly updates instead of weekly updates. And so I'm going to do things a little bit different in terms of my stats and how I'm approaching this. But essentially, I'm going to go over what happened in my 5th month post-op. I'm going to throw my stats up right up here like usual. My highest recorded weight was 383.3 pounds. And I started this whole process with pre-op at 374 pounds. So at the start of April, this last month, I weighed in at 284 pounds. And at the end of the month, I weighed in at 272.2 pounds. So that is a total loss of 11.8 pounds for the month. And the big one is that I'm down over 100 pounds now since the start of this whole process in October of last year. At the end of the month, I was down 101.8 pounds. And I'm even further down now. My weigh-in day was yesterday. I'm at almost 105 pounds lost now. And that is beyond anything that I've ever done before in my life. I have never lost that much weight before. And I see it and I feel it. And it is so different. And it is so noticeable. And the changes, not just physically, like I can see the weight loss on myself, but the changes in myself, my energy levels, my desires to be active and do things, everything seems to have changed. It's insane. This last week, my sister and I signed up for Trek for Treasure, which is a local thing that happens every summer in my county. They have riddles and you go on the hikes and you look for the clues to find the treasure. And at the end of the whole summer, if you've gone and taken a picture with your team at all of the destinations, then you're eligible for a prize at the end. And it's always sounded really interesting, but I have never wanted to do it. I can't even tell you. I probably have so many people in my life who could attest that I am not a hiking person. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm usually miserable on hikes. Something about it, I don't know. It was something I really had no desire to do and would usually just make me really grumpy if I had to do it. And I have found that not only do I want to go on walks and take my puppy for walks and be out and about, but now I'm like, I want to do a hike. I don't just want to do a flat walk with my puppy. Like, I want to go on a trail. Now I am not ready for some crazy elevation gain or something. I'm not ready for that. But I do have this desire to go out and do things that I never had before. I did not want to do that. And now I do. I'm just like, let's do it. Let's sign up for Trek for Treasure. You have to commit if you want to get to the end and be eligible for the prizes. You have to commit to doing, I think, all but maybe one, or maybe it is all of the hikes throughout the summer. It's quite a few of them, and they range in difficulty. They set it up so that it gets more and more difficult as the summer goes on and as you complete hikes. So it sounds amazing to me, but I'm just like, this is a new person. This is a new thing that I've never had this desire for. I'm blown away that I not only wanted to do it, but I was just like, let's do it. Let's sign up. And we registered our team. Another thing that I've noticed is just a general desire to do things. I don't know if it's just an energy level thing. I know that I have more energy. I think that just has to do with not feeling like everything is a chore to do anymore. Almost anything that I would want to get done would be a chore. If I have to be on my feet for long periods of time, or if I have to bend over, or just do a lot of things on the ground level, for example. I remember last year, shortly after deciding to pursue surgery, my grandma came over with some extra raspberry plants and she was helping me plant them in my yard. And the task of just physically taking these plants and digging and planting them in my yard was so hard for me. It was hard for me to be down on the ground like that, for me to bend over and be gardening. It was hard for me, to carry around the watering pan to get over there. I was so embarrassed because I was doing this with my grandmother and I couldn't keep up with my grandma. I was just like, this is ridiculous. It solidified, I need to definitely continue pursuing this surgery, because it was very eye-opening. And so I wanted the raspberry plants and I wanted to get them planted in my yard, but I didn't have a desire to do that. If I could have had someone else do it, I would have gladly let someone else do it. But now I'm finding a desire and a willingness to go out and do yard work. I'm looking around at my yard with new eyes. It is literally new eyes of like, I can do that, so I'm going to. And I have all these plans, and it's not just yard work. It's work around the house. It's painting rooms and picking out wallpaper, because I've decided what I want to do with some of these rooms. We've lived in this house for a year and a half now, and between not knowing what we want to do and not having any energy or desire to do anything, we haven't really done much. And now I'm like, I want to do something to this house. I want to do something. I want to make something my own. I have energy, but it's not just energy. It's like, can I be cliche and crazy and say like it's a renewed life? Like I have a new life force. I have completely changed the way that I look at everyday activities and the things that I want to do with my life and the things that I spend my spare time on. This surgery has changed my life. And it's not just, oh, yay, I'm losing weight. It is so much bigger than that. And I feel like a totally different person, or that I'm evolving into a totally different person, just with the things that I'm finding I want to spend my time doing. And I love it. I mean, it's almost like I'm getting to know myself again. Because I had to make so many sacrifices and, take so many shortcuts and things. I didn't even realize I was doing it in the past. And now that I'm looking at things with a new light, I am seeing, all of these things that I would do differently because of my weight and my inability to do certain things. And so it's like an opportunity to find out, okay, what are you actually interested in? Not what are you interested in within the confines of what you can do. What are you interested in? Look at the world around you. What do you want to do? Because now I feel like I can, like I can do whatever it is I want to do with way less limitations. And in a lot of ways, my brain is like, no limitations, we have none. Oh, it's overwhelming sometimes. But in a good way. It really is like getting to know myself better and just trying to figure out, okay, who do you want to be? And not who are you forced to be, but who do you want to be and what do you want to do? So I think that's the biggest takeaway from this last month is I've just noticed a huge, huge shift in just being me. I wouldn't have expected this, at least so early. Like I'm only 5 months into the process. I would have expected like years down the line, I'm a different person or I'm doing more active things and stuff. But no, it's like immediately, as soon as I have the ability, my body's like, let's go do more. Let's walk more. Let's be out in the sun more. Let's enjoy this more. And it's great. It's been so great. This really has changed my life so far, and that's only 100 pounds. I've basically lost about half of what I need to. I mean, if we want to get into a discussion of a goal weight, I don't really have a goal weight. Most recently, I did put a goal weight into my Bariatric app because I wanted to get a better idea of it keeps track of milestones and like your percentage progress to your goal weight. And so I said, okay, well, I'll make a goal-ish weight with some sort of backing behind it without it being, you know, too, I don't know, how do I say this? I don't want a goal weight. I don't want a number on the scale that I am striving for and it's going to drive me nuts if I don't get to it, or if I'm 10 pounds away from it and I'm struggling to get there. That is not what I want to do. So I haven't really been wanting to set a goal weight. So what I did was I looked at the BMI chart as a general concept. I think the BMI scale and the BMI chart has some serious problems, but as a general idea and one data point, I think it's okay. So I looked at it to see where I would need to be considered not obese anymore. I think it's about 174 pounds is where I get to that point where I cross over into just being overweight and not being obese. And that was pretty close to what I had, this, you know, number jumbling around my head of like, I don't know, like 180 is what I've always said if somebody says that there's a goal, or if I had to put something down in writing, or like, I don't know, 180. I don't really care. Something well enough into the 100s, but, you know, nothing like super defined. So 174 is pretty close to that. So I've gone with that being my goal weight. And lo and behold, I started at 374. So that's exactly 200 pounds. And that seems like, when I say 200 pounds, it seems so overwhelming, which is one reason why I don't like the idea of a goal weight, because it's just so overwhelming when you're looking at large numbers like this. But I had this other thought last night. I've already lost over half of that. I'm over halfway there. I lost 100 pounds. What's another 100 pounds? I could do that. I did it once. Let's do it again. I just had this very confident, like, no, I've got this. This is fine. Yeah, it's a lot of weight, but it's doable, and I'm going to do it. Whether or not I go further from there, I'm letting all of that just be guided by how I feel and conversations with my doctor, and just waiting till I get there before I think about it. So for right now, my goal is 174, and I'm over halfway there. That feels really good. It feels really, really good. This is the first time that I have really felt like I've got this. All the other times I've tried to lose weight in my life, you know, I could be really confident in the moment and I could be really successful, but I always felt like there was this little thing in the back of my head that's like, yeah, for now, you know, and that negative self-talk, you have to work really hard to try to stop that negative self-talk and put an end to those things. But this is the first time in my life that I don't feel like I have that. I feel like everything that I've done up until now has prepared me adequately for the journey that I'm on now. And I went through all those struggles, and yes, it was really frustrating, and it was many, many years. And I know a lot of people will say, you know, my only regret is not doing the surgery sooner. I feel like everything that I went through up until I finally decided to do the surgery has prepped me to be prepared and in the right mindset to be successful long-term for the rest of my life. So I just have this overwhelming sense of calm and confidence that I'm halfway through my journey, and I'm going to keep plugging along, and I will be successful in the end and be a totally different person on the other side. So thanks so much for watching this 5-month update. If you are interested in continuing to see the videos that I'm putting out and my monthly updates, make sure you subscribe. I think there's a bell you can ring. Like the video, do whatever it is that the algorithm likes so that it tells you when I have a video coming out. And also, I do have an Instagram. I am going to link that in the description. And I also just started a Facebook group. In case that is something that you're interested in. I was really kind of skeptical about going that route, but I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. I will also link the Facebook group. It is a private Facebook page. I'll link that in the description as well if anyone is interested in joining and just talking with each other on that kind of platform. So those two things will be in the description. I'm trying to do videos weekly on topics about weight loss surgery, and then again I'm moving to monthly updates rather than weekly updates on my weight loss and my progress. I hope you guys have a great one. Thanks so much for sticking around, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. See ya.